I'm here. I'm here, honey. I'm here. I'm here. I made it. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to LGBTQ plus Singles Alive, honey. Yes, tonight is a special show. One reason being because I'm late. Therefore, we are under a new time slot for the moment, just for tonight's show. Unless, of course, this works out and y'all like this time better. But honestly, I'm running late. I literally just got in the house. I literally just got back from my little birthday trip, my little B-day vacation. Shout out to everybody who sent me gifts. Shout out to everybody who donated to my various platforms for my birthday. I appreciate y'all. I'm still recovering. I'm still recovering. I plan to still be here on time, even with the trip, but unexpected traffic, baby. But we ain't gonna worry about that. Let me give y'all a little update. Let me fill y'all in. You see, I still got my birthday hair on, honey. I still got the birthday gilder on, honey. The vacation hair. You know how you put your vacation piece on, honey, so that you don't have to worry about your motherfucking hair. If you're not a femme, you won't get it. Bitch, I'm so ready to come up out this motherfucking piece of hair, bitch. Girl, can't you see my temples sweating? Sweating on both sides, honey. They crying, baby. But no, I really enjoyed my weekend. It was wonderful. I can't wait to go through the content and edit and post everything. I spent the entirety of the weekend with my family. If you don't know, my family is huge. We're also very close-knit, all very crazy. Yeah, it was beautiful. Friday, I got there, honey. It was turn up from the door. Everybody who came over had to take a shot, honey. And baby, the days have run together since. I remember outfit changes. Don't necessarily remember exactly which outfit went with which day at the moment. But we'll figure that out in the edit. Or maybe we the fuck won't. Who knows? It's beautiful. Beautiful. I was surrounded by love. I was supposed to meet up with some child, honey. But it was a whirlwind weekend. It became about family. It did not become about dating. Overall, as far as dating is concerned, I think that I'm in that space where I'm open but not looking. Open but not looking. You know, if you fuck with the show, then you know that there's someone that I had my eye on, and there's someone who I've had my eye on for quite some time. Someone who has actually been an internet crush of mine for some time now. And yeah, but I mean, you never know. We don't know if that's gonna work. You know, I'm gonna see it through kind of bitch. You know, but yeah, I'm still taking time on my healing process. And anybody who I've spoken to or who have discussed the potential of dating me, they're aware of that. I'm very open, very honest, and I recommend the same for y'all. Yes. Did my sound go out? Did my sound go out in my back? Can you hear me now? Thank you, Corey. Thank you. No, Corey, don't even worry about it, love. Corey, don't even worry about it. Whew. But yeah, the weekend was crazy. Okay, good, good, good. Yeah, the weekend was crazy, but yeah, I'm ultimately in a place now where I'm open, but I'm not looking. And we never know. We never know what I'm doing behind the scenes for real, cause you never show your hand, never show your hand, never show your hand, never show all the cards you play. Hey, Trini Daddy. We got a request. We got a request in already. We got a request in. If y'all was here last week, y'all know that we had Michaela. Michaela had lost connection. Michaela Wi-Fi. I don't know what the hell was going on with your Wi-Fi, Michaela. She was in the laundromat, honey. Next thing you know, she was lost in the wash. She was lost in the motherfucking fluff and fold, bitch. I don't know if it was Downy, Girl, Tide, Clorox, but Michaela was not available, and it was just getting good too. So I hope that you in the queue, Michaela, bitch. Yes. Don't judge me. Yeah, it ain't no lashes. It's giving fresh face. I didn't. If you late, I told you. I literally just walked in the goddamn house. Don't judge me. We was about to film somewhere else, bitch. We was about to steal McDonald's Wi-Fi. Honey, that's what we was about to do. Michaela said, "Oh, Michaela's here." She said that was it. That was not the laundromat. Yes, thank you, love. Let's get it started. Let's get it started. Let's get it started. Let's see who we got in here today. Oh Lord, I'm all unprepared.
Oh, hello, boy. Wait a minute. We can't go. You know, I never go live without a filter. Hold on. We got to find me one. Jesus, Lord, Father.
You figure out
Oh,
the filter while I get the questions. Don't judge.
okay, you get the question. We just
Don't
gonna
judge.
make my teeth look extra white. How about that? Oh, I like this little teeth white filter. Come on, in the mighty name.
Okay.
Yeah. Hello to all of the people of Miss Bree Stars Live. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to my people that are coming in. What's going on, Michaela? Blazing, what's up, Gina girl? What's going on, Gina girl? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
can we give flowers to the host because she looks so fabulous and so mighty and so wonderful? I mean, come on, you're giving. The skin is giving, the hair is giving, the jewelage is giving, the smile is giving. It's giving all that it needs to give.
I had to switch it up. I was in disguise over the weekend. But
Not
let's
in
get
this.
it started, friend. Tell the people your name and your pronouns.
My name is Daniel J. My pronouns are he, him, and fabulous. Yeah.
Friend, I didn't realize you were a he, him. No, no disrespect intended.
No, but I'm a he, him, his. You know, I do answer to the colloquial she, her. You know, for those who have the permission within community guideline standards, you know, but for the people that are on the outskirts, they he him at all times.
Okay.
And if you are unsure, please make sure you ask, and I will correct you with kindness and compassion. But if you get rude, I have to smack you.
Okay, honey. And tell the people where you're located, friend.
I am in Los Angeles, California.
You in LA,
Born,
friend?
yes, born and raised in Los Angeles.
I
What
didn't.
up, me?
I knew you were on the West Coast, but I didn't realize that you were in LA. And what is your zodiac or your birthday for the people?
My birthday is April 25th, which makes me a Taurus. I am a Capricorn rising and a Cancer moon.
Okay, work. We get along for reasons.
That's like my sis, Miss Harry, honey. Yeah.
Yeah. And how do you identify as far as sexual orientation?
Gay as fuck.
Is
Without question.
is that is that the way in which you identify with the letters with the LGBTQ plus?
Yes.
Got it. Got it. And what do you do, friend, out in LA?
I do. So many people know me for my social media work. So I am an online personality, but I am also a singer and an actor, especially as well as a writer. I do write quite often. In my day work, I work in HIV prevention and basically public health, but specifically helping and servicing Black and Brown communities of the LGBTQIA plus influence and identification. So I work in a sexual health clinic called Out Here Sexual Health Services, and I
Mhm.
work the front desk of that clinic. So I just started doing that in February of this year. Prior to that, I was working in HIV prevention work.
What inspired you to go into HIV prevention work?
I have a lot of friends and family that have been affected by HIV and AIDS. I've seen how it can not only affect an individual dealing with it, but how it can affect family units and friendship units. And I think that it's so important for us to know our status at all times. I remember the first time that I got tested, I was in my early 20s and I had been fucking far before that. Can we cuss on your show? Because I'm just
I,
using profanity. Okay.
fucking
So, but it was the first time that I ever got tested, and I was by myself. I went to a place called Out of the Closet, and the experience in and of itself was very, it gave me tons of anxiety. And so when the opportunity came for me to volunteer for a program that dealt specifically with Black and Brown queer men 18 to 29, I jumped at the opportunity. And so I kind of became a mentor and an educator. I learned a lot, as a student. And it's just a work that I think needs to be done because it affects the queer community in a lot of major ways. You know, we know what the statistics and the numbers say about gay men. We know what the statistics say about, Black cis women. There's not a lot of numbers as it pertains to trans women. There's not a lot of numbers as it pertains specifically to trans men.
mm,
Um, and so my work in that, my goal in that is to really destigmatize um, what HIV is, how it affects the body, and how it can affect your life. Which is, it doesn't have to. It is a manageable disease, but that doesn't mean that if you are negative, that you should not be taking precautions to make sure that you don't have to do those extra steps in your life.
I completely agree. I completely agree. I was having this conversation with my mother over the weekend. She was asking me because my mother was the person who originally educated me about HIV. Unfortunately, when I was growing up, the knowledge was so little and it was so stigmatized when I was growing up that I actually developed a fear around having any type of homosexual sexual interactions because at one point, we were all under the belief that it was happening from homosexual interactions, but we didn't know any specifics
Yeah.
other than that. And it wasn't until it started to affect the cis hetero community, started to affect the child welfare system, things like that. When AIDS and HIV started to get the recognition and the study that it needed. But sorry to sidetrack. My mom asked me, "Was I back on my prep?" Basically, since I'm single, and I was like, "Absolutely." But let's get back to you, friend. Let's get back to you, Danny. Can I call you Danny? Do you prefer?
Yes, you may. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for asking.
Absolutely, because that's what I call you in my head. Because I always assume just because your energy is so there's masculine energy, but there's feminine energy, and I always just viewed you as a non-gender individual. I'm not here to put my labels and my perspective on you. It's here you're here right now for us to just shine light on you and who you are. Why would you say that you're single, friend?
Well, so I was only single until about maybe a week ago. So I'm actually in. So I I'm in an exclusive situation currently. We are exclusively dating. We made that decision about a week and a half or so ago. We had been dating and talking for about 2 months. And it just, we had the conversation and it felt like the right decision to make, given where we are. So we're not in a relationship. We're not doing any kind of like, this is my boyfriend, that's my boyfriend type of thing. I definitely have not put him on my social media because, you know, bitches is savage. And he doesn't like the spotlight like that. So that's fine. I love the spotlight. Keep it on me. That's perfect. But prior to me meeting him and making that decision, I was definitely single by choice. I was still dating. I was out, you know, doing my thing. I was definitely sexually active, but I was single by choice because I just, this is gonna sound so bitchy, but it's so true. I knew what I was worth and I wasn't going to change that for anybody. And so for people who felt like I was too much, I felt like they were too little. For people who felt like you know, it was very much giving like, well, go find less because that's not me. And so I think one of the issues that I had with being single or just the idea of singleness is that people always assume you're single because you can't find a partner or because you are undateable. And it's like, no, some of you motherfuckers are undateable and I don't want to deal with you on a day-to-day basis. I don't want to deal with you in the forever space. And then understanding that most people are not set up for monogamy. You know, some people are very much set up for polyamory. They don't know that yet, which is why they have so many fucking issues and insecurities. So it's like, but I was definitely single by choice because it was like, look, I knew what it felt like. I had a boyfriend back when I was in high school. He passed away when I was 18, and even though our relationship had our ups and downs, he was the first relationship that I had that taught me how what it meant to be accepted for being fully who you are. The way he protected me, the way that he took care of me and my safety and in the consideration of me, the way that he considered my body during sexual exploration. Like he showed me what it is to be loved in full.
Mm.
And after him having different types of relationships, saying yes to things I shouldn't have said yes to, I had to go back and remember who he was to me. And when I took that time to really remember who he was to me, I had to ask myself, well, Daniel, you know, this man loved you in a very specific way, and in 100 complete, you know, 100% wholeness. Why are you allowing yourself to not be loved that way by these other people? And
Mm.
so I was like, until I find that again, I'm gonna be single.
Baby, you prefaced by saying that you hope that you're not being bitchy. I don't give a fuck what anybody ever calls either one of us. I will always praise your confidence in the knowledge of your own self worth. And I will always praise my own, whether other people praise it or not.
Yeah,
They can call us whatever they want to call us, honey. So, before or even because now still you're technically single. So, how long have you been single?
I have been single officially since 2018. Prior to that, I was single since 2012. So between 2012 and 2018, I was single. In 2017, I met a guy and started dating him for 8 months, and I broke up with him in 2018. And then from 2018 till now, I've been single.
Have you noticed in your dating, have you noticed there being a constant issue with the people you dated, or have you broken up with various people for completely different reasons?
I've definitely broken up with people and for different reasons. I've never been broken up with necessarily.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I have found a common theme in a lot of the men that I've dated in my life. And a lot of the theme has to do with confidence and value, um, and fetish. So because I am feminine presenting, in all that I do. And I'm very much more feminine presenting now than I used to be in years past, but I was still always very feminine in my demeanor.
Mm-hmm.
There was an attraction to that. There was an attraction to the way that I support, the way that I nurture, the way that I love, and the way that I give. And so there used to be a theme where men would be attracted to that, but very uncomfortable with having that in public.
Mhm. Mhm.
because of like, oh, well, I've never done this. I don't know what this means. And it just brought up a lot of questions for them where I was like, okay, but I'm not there. Like, I'm not in this space anymore. Like, I know who I am. I don't have these questions. And so I don't want to have to go with you through your journey. Like, that's not my problem. It's not my baggage. That's not where I am. I'm not obligated to walk with you in your discovery.
Mhm. I know for me, my experience is that of a trans woman. I didn't realize that that dynamic or those issues and dynamic were prevalent in gay relationships. Um, would you say would you say that that has been common where openly gay men have been attracted to you, but still?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. On TikTok, I'm in the middle of a TikTok debate that is ongoing regarding masculine men and the toxicity that they imbue towards femmes or feminine identified people. But openly gay men are still men at the end of the day, and there is a lot of trauma. There's a lot of misogyny and patriarchy that still lives in men, regardless of their race, regardless of their orientation. They are men. And
Mm-hmm.
a lot of times, as I always say on my platform, my advocacy starts and ends in Black and Brown LGBTQIA plus spaces, because that is the community. Those three things are the communities that I represent as someone who is Black and Mexican and queer. And
Mm-hmm.
so Black men oftentimes are taught to focus on their Blackness and the marginalized oppression of their Blackness.
Mm.
And it blinds them to the fact that they still have a privilege being a man. And so when they go through their journey of coming out as a gay Black man, they have to overcome the the oppression of like that queerness part, and they have to overcome that oppression of the questioning of their manhood.
Mm.
The Black part doesn't really matter anymore, because in the Black community, you looking at your own who's oppressing you, right?
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
so the part about your identity that you've been taught to focus on as, oh, this is my oppression, well, that no longer exists in Black space when you're a gay Black man. Now we're looking at the queerness, and we're looking at the fact that you are a man. My manhood is being questioned. I am gay. So the thing that I'm going to defend, the thing that I'm going to refortify, is my manhood. And the only way Black men know how to do that is by being more domineering, more seemingly what they interpret as masculine, and being the epitome of presentation that they think manhood is. And so anything counter to that they come across, that's an offense and an attack on this manhood that they've had to defend,
Mm.
even
I
if they're attracted to it.
I honestly didn't for some obvious reasons, but also being a psychologist who studies gender and sexuality, I'm embarrassed that I never, and I consider myself to have a broad perspective, but I never considered the fact that queer femmes in general have a lot of conflated issues when it comes to dating. Wow, wow, something I'm definitely open to discussing with you more in the future, Danny. But at first, I'm going to have to go through your videos and catch up so that we can be on the same wave when we discuss. But back to this. And I think I know the answer to this because you told us that you have been dating and you have recently been exclusive. But do you think that you're ready for love?
Absolutely. I think that, to be honest, and this is just my fairy tale belief, I think most of us are ready for love. Most of us are not ready to be loved.
Mm,
And that is something that I have that's a place that I had been in for a very long time. You know, I was ready to give to a man. I was ready to stand by his side and support him and love on him and give him this good God 3000 and give him this premium platinum pussy. You know, I was ready to do all the things. Um, but I wasn't necessarily in a space where I was ready to receive that from someone who genuinely wanted it to give it to me and genuinely didn't necessarily want anything back as a transaction.
Mm,
You know, and so I think a lot of us don't struggle with whether or not we're ready to love. I think that we struggle with, are we ready to be loved, because we don't know what that looks like. We don't have a reference for what that is.
Baby, we got some bites to that. What have been, because from the impression, and not speaking so far, I've gotten the impression that you've been in a couple of long term relationships. What's the longest relationship you've been in?
The longest relationship that I've been in was with my ex Michael, who passed away. We were together on and off for about 3 years.
Okay,
And so, I mean, honestly, had he not passed, we'd probably still be together here with kids.
that's fun. Your first love and truest love's name was Mike, and mine was Tim. Um,
So
how the universe works.
that part.
What would you consider your strengths?
As a person or in the dating space?
You tell me.
I definitely think that my strength as a person is my willingness and readiness to learn. I am enamored by what I don't know.
Mm,
I want to know, I want to learn, I want to have the information, I want to be able to use that information. Um, Shout out to my mother because she was forever making me do a fucking book report. So I'll attribute that to her. But I think that that is the biggest strength that I have. And it flows in so many different areas of my life, into my compassion, into my heart space, my mind space, my spiritual space. Because again, it makes me want to know, it makes me want to learn, it makes me want to be a student. So even in a relationship or even in a dating space, I want to know your story. I want to know what makes you tick. I want to know, what do you like, what do you don't like. You know, what scares you, what empowers you.
mm.
So that is what I would say is my biggest strength.
What about weaknesses?
My biggest weakness is my attachment. And what I mean by that is, because I have gone so much of my life with so much lack, I used to attach to people way too quickly, um, simply because I wanted someone to be there. Because my biggest fear has always been to be alone. Like, to die alone, to be by myself and not have community or not have someone to share life with is a
Mm.
really huge fear for me. And so sometimes in the past, that fear has caused me to attach to people that I shouldn't have attached to, and or attach to people at a time that I shouldn't have attached to them.
Baby, if the people watching this live don't realize that they listening to greatness, I need y'all to put y'all ear a little closer to the phone. Would you consider, no, first, describe your ideal partner for me.
Oh, that's easy. I have six non-negotiables, and my partner has all six of these: healthy and effective communication, safety, security, uh, mutual attraction, um, healthy and effective romance, and goal support. If my partner attributes has all those six characteristics, we are in the game. As far as how he look, as far as his weight, as far as his height, his income, I don't give a shit about none of that. If those six things are present in my partner, that is the perfect partner for me.
And what are your deal breakers?
Not having those six things. In addition to that, I also have a deal breaker where I'm not a top. I'm anatomically built to be somebody's bottom, and so I don't because when you top, that's a different energy. Now, if you want like birthday, Christmas, New Year dick, we can talk about that. But I'm I'm not topping my man. I'm just saying that.
But I love the logic behind it. I love even there. It sounds like there's logic behind it. It sounds like there's purpose, but it also sounds like there's intimate reasoning behind it. And I love the fact that you're able to articulate that, because for a lot of people who are outsiders, the cis hets, you know, who don't have as many options as us. For a lot of them, they wonder why, and for even a lot of people inside of our community, they wonder why position can be a big deal for some people. Anatomy can be that, trauma can be that, because like you said, that there's a different energy that comes with playing different um, positions in homosexual relationships.
Yeah. Part of like the topping aspect is to me for me, it is very much about a dominance and a take control. Not to say that a bottom cannot be dominant because they can absolutely, but the idea of topping and inserting, come on, kitty cat, and inserting yourself into someone, there's a control factor in that, and because I am so in charge of everything else that deals with Daniel J, when I'm in partnership, it's the one place where I get to take off my cape. It's the one place where I get to be taken care of. It's the one place where I don't have to be in control and I can submit. So to give that up in a sexual space with my partner, it puts me in a mindset that I don't want to be in.
Not during that time, anyway.
Not during that time.
I get it. I get it. Makes complete sense to me. Would you say that you tend to be an overall more submissive personality in relationship?
In a relationship, yes.
Okay.
I'm definitely more submissive. If you ask the dude that I'm dating now, he will tell you that I'm very combative. Uh, but he doesn't. He's still learning what submission means, and submission is not. I never have a voice, and I do what you tell me to do. Submission is I recognize your role in this relationship, and I allow you to play that part. But in aspects and situations that affect us both, we need to be in this together, and so that needs to be a conversation. So I am I am the type of person in a relationship where I have never, knock on some type of wood, but I have never emasculated my man in public. I have never called my man outside of his name in an argument. I have never thrown in his face things that he has shared with me in spaces of vulnerability and confidence. I don't believe in doing that. If I want my man to provide for me and to keep me safe and secure, I too have to make sure that I provide him a safe and soft place to be vulnerable and not weaponize that against him when I get mad or when he does something I don't want him to do. So I tend to be more submissive in relationship than I am in other aspects of my life.
Understood. We touched on it a bit, but is physical intimacy important to you in relationship?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Um, Now, the spectrum on how often and how much, that's going to depend on, the partner and the dynamic. Quality time, physical touch are my top two love languages. So I need you to be in my vicinity and I need you to be within arm's length because I need to touch you, play in your hair, kiss you, hold you, put your arm around me. Now, it's hot right now. The bitch is fat. I got a lot of flesh flaps on this here plus size body. So it may not necessarily be like a 30 to hour minute cuddle, but I definitely need my 5 to 10 to 15 minutes. And so when it comes to intimacy, I mean, it absolutely is a part of my relational dynamic. Now, for people who are asexual and don't give a fuck, hey, more power to you. But that is not my witness and my testimony.
You touched on people being built for, or you feeling that people being confused on what type of relationship they're built for, whether monogamous or polyamory. Um, where do you fall on that spectrum?
I am definitely a monogamous person. I believe in ethical monogamy. However, because of the circles that I've put myself in, and because of the student seat that I've taken in other communities, I am open to and understand more of what it means to be ethically non-monogamous.
Mm-hmm.
So if me and my partner ever had a dynamic where there was something in our relationship that he wasn't getting from me, I wouldn't be opposed to having the conversation about whether or not he needed to find that portion somewhere else with someone else. Now, would there be parameters around that? Would there be borders around that we would have to discuss? Absolutely. But I don't have that fantastical idea of being someone's everything. I think it's exhausting. But I definitely, for me, function better in monogamy.
Got it. Do you have any income requirements for a partner?
Do your part and let's build this shit together.
How do you feel about kids and marriage?
I want them and I look forward to mine.
Night in or night out?
Ooh, that's case by case situation. Because if it's a if it's a dynamic where he's constantly working or I'm constantly working and we're always out doing something, a night in is going to be perfect. But if it's been a while since me and him have seen the city lights together, then a night out is required.
Understood. Are you willing to relocate for love or does the person have to come to LA?
I will never relocate for a man. That is just my rule. Um, Relocating for love, I think, is a wonderful idea. But I also like for people to consider what the reality of that is. Am I comfortable leaving my support network, my stomping ground, to go to his home court advantage where he has a support network and I don't? Because the
Mm,
reality is, if things don't work out, I'm left in a city with nothing. I don't have friends there. I don't have family there. I may not have a job. I definitely don't have my own place because I moved in with your ass. Like, so that doing that for me is a no-no. Now, if we are deciding together that we both want to leave our cities and move somewhere new together and build from there, that I am open to.
okay.
But I will never require a man to come to me. That has to be his decision. If he wants to come to Los Angeles and build a life here in Los Angeles, that's great. He won't be moving in with me. We would have to look, either you gonna look for your own place and we gonna have our own place in the same city, or we need to look for a place together.
I ain't mad. I ain't mad at it. You've honestly given me some advice, and it's not the first time I've been given it, but I think you've been able to articulate advice that people have been trying to give me. That has been a common theme in my past relationships. Either 9 out of 10 times I've dated people who didn't live near me initially.
Mhm.
Um, Trying to navigate that has been hard. Questioning whether to go, questioning where to go with that in the future has been on my mind. But you definitely helped. Your point of reference for me on that topic. Last question, friend. What makes you a great partner?
Everything about me. And I mean that in the fullness and most sincere way possible. Um, I am a whole individual. And when I walk into a relationship, I walk into that relationship a whole individual. And so all the parts of me for the person that I am meant for is going to be what makes me the right partner for you. And that includes my faults. That includes the things that irritate you and get on your nerves. But it includes all of the things that you love about me and that desire about me. And I feel the same way in my partner. Everything of who he is what makes me choose to be in this every day. And so I I used to tell people, um, I refuse to leave 10% of me outside to make 50% of you comfortable in a room full of 100 people who don't give a shit about you. Like, the math in that don't math for me. You
Thank,
want me to leave a portion of me outside to make you more comfortable in a room full of people who don't give a shit about you. So no, I'm not gonna do that. So all of me makes me the partner that I am for the right person.
agreed. I feel like all that I know about you, you completely. Tell the people how to reach.
You can reach me on all platforms. Well, you can reach me on Instagram and TikTok at official Daniel J official. I am Daniel J on Twitter. You can always go to my website danielj.com. Read some of the blogs that I've written. It's really just an interjet journal that I keep for myself. But you are more than welcome to find me there. But you can find me on TikTok and Instagram at Daniel J official.
Spell out your name for that.
DANYOLJAYE official OFFICIAL.
Thank you, Daniel J. Thank you, Danny.
Thank you, Miss Star. This has been a child. You has given me all the feels and the vibes. I love it. You are giving it to me, and I am here for it.
I came unedited for the show today. I didn't have time to draw on the face.
But the face is giving. That's what's killing me. Like the face is giving.
Thank you, love.
You
Thank
look like you have on like just a good, nice dusted powder with a good eyeliner and a mascara and a good lip, girl. Like you giving it.
you.
That's
I
called. See, that's the blessing of melanation.
draw on a little eyeliner, do a mascara, but baby, yeah, honey, we're gonna power through. We're gonna keep it trucking tonight because the energy is great. Love.
Well, thank
Good.
you so much for having me. I definitely appreciate you.
All righty. And I will be talking to you soon, honey.
Yes.
Yes, friend came through, honey. Friend came through. Yes, friend. We had somebody else in the queue. What happened? What happened? Is Michaela still in here? Yeah, what is you doing? Do you want to get interviewed? I think the puss wants to get interviewed. Do you want to get interviewed, honey? Are you looking? Are you open to love? My damn cat, honey. Pray for me. She's a piece of work. Baby, I'm a struggling single mother.
Why is it always that I end up on that side? Hey,
Hey, are you back in at the laundry room?
no, I'm in my kitchen.
Oh, I couldn't see behind you. All I see is a door. Give me your name.
Well, as she told you earlier, I'm Michaela, the girl whose internet cut out last time.
Lift the phone up so we can see your face right now. All we getting is titties. I'm sure they're appreciating the titties, but I want to see your face. And give us your age. She, her pronouns.
Mhm.
Um,
Trans
remind
woman.
me, love.
Hmm?
Remind me of your age.
I'm 25.
25. And where are you? What area are you in?
I'm from Pennsylvania.
And your zodiac or your birthday.
Okay, I actually just had a birthday a month ago, actually. My birthday is July 17th. I am a Cancer with a Sagittarius rising and Virgo moon.
Okay. Okay, Cancer. So you said you're a Cancer woman, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sis, you know I love you.
I know.
Honey, you
Oh my God, I caught the shade. I did.
know men be scared of y'all. I'm just saying they say y'all emotional. I'm emotional, so I can't comment. How do you identify as far as sexual orientation?
I am heterosexual. I'm a heterosexual woman. I primarily date men, so heterosexual.
Does trans experience matter? Are you open to dating men of trans experience?
Of course, they're men.
Just wanted to clarify for all the people out there who are learning. You
I'm like,
know,
I'm like, it has never come up because usually the trans guys I find attractive, either already in relationships, for some reason I've noticed, or we just end up becoming close and they end up being my brother, or they end up being gay. And I'm like, and they end up being in a relationship with my friend who's a bitch too.
baby,
So they wasn't looking at me no way.
baby, I'm here to tell you, as one who has a preference in dating my own kind, we don't leave these trans men single long out here, honey. Baby, you gotta have.
Oh, honey, they be partner to everything. I'm just like, girl. I'm like, I actually know two trans men who are currently married to Black trans women, actually.
I
So,
like to take credit in saying that I helped that trend. Hey,
I'm like, and it's crazy because they are never single, never.
what do you do for a living, Michaela?
I am a cashier currently, but I'm going to school for my second degree. So,
Okay, the first degree.
computer. I'm like, so it's business administration, and now I'm going for psychology.
You're going for psychology now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think we might have touched on that when you came on before a bit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And why would you say that you're single, Michaela?
I haven't found the right person, to be honest.
Understood.
I have,
How long have you been single?
okay, so it's been about 2 to 3 years. Cause I'm like, mind you, I'm 25. So I'm like, I started dating like fresh out of high school. And I actually, the person I was dating at the time also went to school with me. I'm like, we went to high school together. So that eventually friendship turned into something more. And then, well, I'm like, we're not together no more. So that should tell you something. He was not a good partner.
I did. I didn't start dating until I was an adult until after I graduated. Um, how what was that difficult to be in a relationship to be in a maybe a seemingly queer relationship to outsiders? Was that difficult to be in that type of relationship in high school?
It was. It very much was. I'm like, it was there. I'm like, people were accepting, but still, like, you could still tell there was something going on. And mind you, at the time, but I started transitioning at 20. So at this, I had to began my transition yet, and
Okay.
so it was seemingly queer. To the outside, but inside, honey, it was far from the
Uh, I,
queer.
I know how it goes.
But I'm like it was weird because like, people were accepting, but at the same time there were still things, and also I'm like he was more masculine presenting because those were usually the type of men and he was bi, so he had just came out, I believe, 2 months prior to that. And it was more masculine presenting. And so things like dealing with queer phobia and all of those things never came up for him because he was able to maneuver where I was not. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, so I was used to that. He was not. So there was that going on. Because coming up as someone who is feminine and knew themselves to be a girl, but other people did not know that yet. I always had to deal with stuff. He never had to deal with that. He never had to deal with any type of queer phobia. So now, being a Black man, on top of being having to deal with with a whole new experience that he never had to deal with prior. So there was
Right.
stuff going on, and then family. And there was a lot of layers.
Mm. We not even going to give him no more time. Um, and remind me, did I already ask you how long have you been single?
Yes, 2 to 3 years, I said.
Do you think that you're ready for love now?
Yes. I'm open to it, but I'm not in a rush.
How long has your that relationship in high school, has that been your only relationship?
So far, yes.
How long did
So
that
only been one relationship so far.
how long was it?
That was almost 2 years, actually.
That's a long time for young love,
It
especially
is, isn't it?
out of the closet.
Yeah, like it was off and on for 2 years. So that was it is pretty long. We outdid a lot of like our classmates.
You outdoing a lot of people 30 plus.
Really?
Yes, yes. Pay attention to the shows going forward. I'm not judging nobody, honey. I am currently working through a breakup, so I have no room to judge. But pay attention to the people come on. I ask the questions I ask for a reason.
Hmm. I'm like,
So
well, I always was way more ahead for a lot of people my age, so it makes sense.
I can see that. I can see that from what I noticed. You tend to be connected with a lot of older people. Seems like you're the baby in the crew.
I am. That's literally the situation. I'm like, it's funny because they'll be shocked when I found out my actual age.
I get that now. Now people get shocked when I my actual age for different reasons than before. But I
I'm like, it's two things. So I'm like, I can still pass for a teenager,
yeah,
still.
you could.
So I'm like, I actually was on the bus the other day, and someone thought I was a high schooler.
I wouldn't have been. You're somebody who I would have looked at and not assumed that they were an adult. So tell us, friends, Michaela.
Hmm. What
Tell
did
us
you say, girl? I didn't hear that last part.
tell us some of your strengths. What are you good at?
Oh, strengths. Okay, so I'm emotionally, I'm very, very mature. I would say a lot of people would say that about me. Very nurturing personality. I know myself. And so I'm like, and so when I come into any space that I enter as my full, authentic self, no matter where I enter. It doesn't matter if it's romantic, platonic, professional. I'm like, best believe I'm gonna be black, and very loud about it, honey. Very
You al-
loud.
you already know how I get down. So what would you consider your weaknesses?
Sometimes I give too much.
Mm, that's common. That's common for women like us. It is. Can you describe your ideal partner for me?
So ideal would be someone who has their shit together, because that's hard to find in me. Someone who has their shit together, but also some like some emotional intelligence is key. A very emotionally intelligent. Um, Also, I'm like make sure you have a good paying job because I'm a very expensive woman, honey. Okay.
So what would you prefer in a partner? What would you prefer as far as income?
Just make come to the table with your shit. We can discuss that. To be
Okay,
honest,
okay. So it's
that
not
can
so
be discussed.
any like real superficial expectations.
It's not anything specific. Just make sure you come correct.
Okay, I'm glad. I wanted you to clarify that. So you basically just want a partner who could take care of himself.
Right.
Okay, Great, great, great. Any deal breakers?
Not having your shit together.
I'm not mad at all. Um, I noticed that you mentioned that you prefer masculine presenting people, right? Masculine present.
Mhm.
Do you have any other appearance preferences?
No, not really. Not that I can think up at the top of my head. I'm like not think. Of course, I have them, but the. They're not like.
Deal
They're
breaker.
not. They're not deal breakers. It just
Mhm.
happens to be things I happen to like. Like I love men with beards for some reason, and I love a dreadhead. But obviously, those are not deal breakers.
No, I get it. I can relate to that as well. My physical preferences are just that, preferences. Somebody could very well come along and change my mind about something.
I'm like preferences. I like orange, but I'll eat I'm like a pineapple if it's sweet enough,
Yeah,
honey.
yeah. Would you consider yourself more of a dominant or submissive personality in relationships?
I'm a very submissive personality, and people don't. I describe myself. My friends would describe me as very
Very glad.
bratty. They call me a bratty.
I can't comment on that one either because for me, I think that's a personality trait at this point.
I'm like it. But I didn't. I never called it. They just started calling me it for some reason. That's how they describe me.
I blame whenever people try and blame it on me. I blame it on my mother. It's her fault.
Period.
Here, is physical intimacy important to you in relationship?
It's important, but it's not my top priority.
I'm sorry, you cut off. What was that?
It's important. I said it's important, but it's not top priority.
Understood. Same. Um,
Like
and
if I'm like I can go without because I've gone without for like 2 years straight, and I'm like I'll be perfectly fine.
you're the first person who I've had on the show thus far who answered that question in the same way that I would. For me, sex is a fun thing to do, if we're speaking in that sense, but it's really more about pleasing my partner more than
I'm like,
anything
and
else.
then also I'm like, I have to also be in a certain mental space to even want to do it anyway.
Yeah,
So,
I can't necessarily say that that's the same for me because you gotta do touch a good spot and things happen.
I'm like, touch the right spot on the right day at the right time. And you might just get you some kook.
I get it. I get it. I let the shackles off a little more than I think you do. I think I'm a bust it open a little bit more than you do, Michaela. But I'm not.
I'm
I'm
not judging nobody. I'm like, get it, girl. Get, cause honey, my girlfriends be doing the exact, they be busting it and I be living vicariously through. Just like, girl, cause girl, I like a good whole story. I do. I like a good whole story. It
girl.
makes girl chat a lot more fun.
Girl, I'm talking a lot more game than I really be participating in. Girl, I can't
I'm
even.
like, no. I'm like, I get that, but like, no. But my girls who be at it, honey, they be fun girl chat. They be giving you tips and everything.
I
You
know.
gotta have you a good hoe friend. You got to.
Oh, back in the day, I was part of the whole crew.
Serious.
I was the only one that wasn't a hoe. I was the one who was rolling the blunts and posting the ads, getting ready to go to the next city. Ah, ah, ah. But that's another
And
story.
don't get.
Story. When were you last physically intimate with someone?
Actually, it was my ex that I'm like that when we broke up. It was 2 years ago.
Oh wow. Okay. Okay. And so you weren't lying about that. Um, what is your age range for dating?
I would say about 26 to maybe 32.
So you prefer older?
I'm like, normally, yes.
I'm not.
Because the men in my age group, they ain't got no couth, honey.
That's what I hear. I don't know. I don't dip down in that part.
I'm like, you don't dip down a young land, but I'm gonna tell you, it's very ghetto out here. Okay, it's very ghetto.
Well, baby, if what I'm thinking is right, if what I'm thinking is right so far, and what I'm seeing now, then it may get better as you get older. It may.
I'm like, and then also, it did not help that my ex was 2 years younger than me.
Oh, honey, how
That
did?
should have been. That's I should have never did that. That was a mess.
I mean, you were young. It was your first relationship, right?
It was my first, so I'm like, I really went in not knowing. I will never date someone 2 years younger than me ever again.
I always tell people that mistakes are only errors if you learn from
Hmm.
their mistakes if you don't learn from them.
Oh, and I learned, honey. I did.
So you made a human error that you learned from.
I'm like, that is because I had never had been in a relationship before. So navigating that was a completely something that was foreign to me. So I'm like, now that I have a little bit of experience, a little, I'm a little seasoned girl. I'm like, I marinated, child. Marinated.
What do you think about kids and marriage, Michaela?
It is something I look forward to. It
Do
is.
do you know your love languages?
Yes, so physical touch. I'm like physical touch is definitely one, as well as I'm like gifts and those are I'm like what else? What was the other? Physical touch. I'm like gifts. I'm like I know it's a couple more. I'm trying to remember all the love languages at the top of my head,
Well,
but
when you
physical
remember
touch is at the top.
when you remember them, just put it in the comments for the video when I do the edit where it's just your video by itself. You could feel free to comment anything that not just the love languages, but anything that you think that you forgot to mention that you think of when we get offline. Because I know how it is. Sometimes I forget to ask questions, and until I hang up and I be like, God damn. Um, would you prefer night in, night out?
I am what I would call an extrovert introvert. So it depends on the mood.
Okay. So I omnivert.
So I'm like, so some days I'm like, I would like to order out, watch P Valley on Hulu, or maybe watch past episodes of The Parkers with some takeout, laying in my man's lap and just snuggled up. And then other nights I want to put on my freakum dress. I'm like, and show out and let these bitches know I still got it. Okay.
And you should, honey. And you should continue to live your life with that balance, if you ask my opinion. Would would you relocate for love, or does the person have to be in Pennsylvania?
So I'm about to move to New York. Actually, I'm in the next few months or so. So I'm not going to even be looking like that until I actually move. Because honey, I'm not even going to be here no for long.
Do you have
Um,
an idea what part of New York you're going to?
yes, I'm going to be in Queens.
Okay. Okay, cool beans, cool beans. What's taking you to New York?
More opportunities, and I also have a girlfriend, honey, out there, and we're going to be, I'm like doing some business together, and she's also going to be my roommate. In fact, she's another black trans girl, and she's married, actually married to a trans man. Actually, wow, they never stay single for long. Wow,
Did
she
you
married a trans
you gonna start learning to listen to your auntie? Do you hear me?
man.
So what would make you a great partner?
I'm like, I bring all of me. Like I said, to every situation I'm like, I come into. And so I give my full self and my entire energy, honey. So I'm compassionate, right? Nurturing. I'm like, and also all of the things that that are gonna get on your nerves, child. Cause best believe, no matter what, if you do something, I'm gonna talk back. Okay? So that gonna get on your nerves. I'm gonna correct you. Maybe not publicly, but privately. Honey, I'm gonna have my voice, if anything else, because that's something I had to fight for.
Oh, maybe. I not even a maybe. I'm sure there's men out there that's looking for exactly that. At the end of the day, you only need one, right? There's
Mhm.
one man that's looking for that trait in a woman.
Because cause a lot of these men want, I feel like, a rug to walk over. And I'm not there. And
Yeah,
they especially love to do it to the trans girls, specifically the black trans. They love to come over here with that nonsense, and I ain't got time for it. They
that's
love
why
to bring their misogyny and patriarchy and everything else. No, ma'am.
that's why I direct them to my social media as soon as they even try it. You need to know who the fuck you dealing with, honey, or you
And best believe around the second or third day, you're going to see that I have my pistol in my purse. So,
baby, honey. Sometimes they get clocked before they even know that I carry, honey.
okay, hello. And I be doing full brown background checks and everything, and they don't even be knowing I'm doing it. The moment I find out a legal name,
I do
the
'em
very second. Hmm?
I do 'em for free. I work in the system.
Period. See, I'm like, listen, I am very handy with Google, honey. So the
We got
moment I know which state,
to tell them it's a
the moment,
day
so
job.
the moment I know the state that you're from, and as well as the city, I'm in their database. I'm like in their criminal database to see if you have any warrants or anything else. I don't play those games.
Not all states make those records public. So make sure that you check newspapers too, honey. And with that, we're going to end. You just tell the people how to reach you, love.
Okay, so I'm on here on Instagram. Michaela Raymond. Okay, so I have two Instagrams. Michaela Raymond 70, and then I think one is Michaela Raymond 91. I'm also on Clubhouse. And I run a club on there called Controversial Blackness. So that's where I get into my political activism bag, and I be doing this thing. So usually I have nothing romantically to do, but you can back channel me and message me if you see this.
You said you're on Clubhouse as consciously black.
No, so I'm like I have a club on there called Controversial Blackness.
Controversial
Where we
black.
Virtual blackness. Yes.
Okay.
So we center the voices of Black women and Black LGBTQ folks. And we get into all of the things, honey. But I'm like, but that's where I do normally my activism stuff. You can reach me in my back channel though. If you see that, also my Instagram, all of the things.
So we got controversial blackness on Clubhouse. And Michaela, spell out your Instagram screen name for him.
Okay, so one is Michaela Raymond, I think 91. So Mikayla Raymond, like the show, 91. And then I believe my other one is Michaela Raymond 70. So I have two Instagrams that I be floating around in between.
I got Michaela underscore Raymond
Oh
90.
yes, I'm sorry. Yeah, Michaela underscore Raymond. Yes.
Okay, so
I'm
that
like I said, I be floating in between Instagram.
so we got you on this one. It's Mikayla underscore RAYMOND 91. And,
Yes.
and you also have one with the ending letters instead of 91 and 70.
Yes.
Thank you, love. Thank you for your time. Thank you for coming back.
Of course. It was nice to talk to you and my internet not cutting out this time.
I appreciate you being ready. I appreciate you being ready for the live, love.
All right.
Talk to you later.
All right.
Hey, if y'all didn't miss it, y'all got a good show tonight. Y'all got a good show tonight. You coming on? You coming on, Knox? What's going on, Knox? Let's check in with Knox real quick. See what's going on.
Oh, wait, hold on. Hi, love.
Hey, love, know what's going on?
Oh, nothing. Sitting out here in the backyard chilling. How's everybody doing tonight?
I thought you had an update for me. I thought I missed something. Did I miss something in the chat?
No. I didn't know if you were coming on tonight or not. So it was like I just so happened to check on Instagram and there you were. You know, you need to make sure that you inbox me and tell me these damn things so I don't be looking like a bad employee.
I promise y'all that if ever there's an issue, it is never going to be Knox's fault. 9 out of 10 times, anybody I'm working with, if there's ever an issue, especially with time, it's likely my fault. You know how I do, friend. You know I be committing myself to 110 things and trying to do all of them.
Right. How's your weekend been?
Baby, that weekend when I get the chance, I don't know if you could tell, love, but Knox, I'm still fucked up from Friday. All together.
Mm,
All the days have run together.
baby,
I,
that's
my
why I'm sitting in the backyard.
my mother can't really drive no more, and I damn near had her as the designated driver. It's a shame. I should.
That's why you gotta be like me, honey. That's one good thing about my husband. He don't drink, so I'm always the DDP, designated drunk passenger.
Well, honey, you couldn't have a passenger if you forcing everybody in your vicinity to take shots, birthday shots.
Yeah. Look, I'm sitting out here with my little homemade bucket with my cranberry juice and uh got my vodka and and everything. So I'm sitting back here, me and my disabled crippled ass getting toe up. But that was something that I also wanted to talk to you about is that there's a question that needs to be asked of people that's coming on the show.
But
Would they be willing to date a person that's disabled? Because we cannot forget about our disabled community that's LGBTQ.
let me make a note of this, friend. Now that you done brought this up, and you want to know what's fucked up is
What's
because
that?
this is something that I don't share, and I spare none of the communities when I talk.
Hmm.
But one of the issues is I think a lot of people don't realize is one of the reasons I spare no communities is because I fit all of the marginalized ones, including the disability community. I do have a physical and psychological disability on paper.
Right.
I have been able to overcome the expectations of those
Right.
abilities, but it doesn't change the fact that, I need special attention. In some cases, I've needed special education,
Yeah.
and I know a lot of people look at somebody like me or listen to somebody like me, and they're like, "Oh, she's so smart." And I was just having this conversation over the weekend. I'm smart in some ways, but I'm not smart in every way. And you have disabled people who are great at a lot of things every day.
Yeah. I mean, it's like I can't sit here as somebody who is 100% disabled. I can't sit here and not bring that point up that, that because when it's like we already know that the gay community is cutthroat, but then you add being disabled on top of that, that's a whole nother chop. I mean, that you're automatically chopped on that front. And I think that that's something that everybody in our community needs to turn around and also look at as a dating pool is people that are disabled. Now you have people like me who have indivisible disabilities, and then you have people who have physical disabilities, and and it's just something that we need to kind of be. I want to make sure I use the right word. Cognitive
Co-
of cognitive of is it, how you say it?
Cognizant.
Cognizant. Yeah. Okay. There you go, girl.
Just another word for aware. Something that we need to talk about more. Something we need
Yeah.
to the conversation. And I agree with you completely. That's why I immediately made the note, no questions asked, because like I was saying last show, the show is still developing. The questions are
Yeah.
still,
I know.
the audience is still developing, and I'm hosting it, but it's our show. It's for our community, and
Yeah.
I love the feedback. We're all doing it together. I'm just the main voice box, I guess, for now. Who knows? One day that it may become a show where I'm not the only one hosting.
That's true. Cause honey, they don't need my dumb ass trying to say any damn thing. Cause I just keep my shit simple. I just keep it simple. And to anybody out there, if you ever want to ask me a question about relationships, I mean, I'm coming up on 17, 18 years in the game. So people of blackness need to learn to respect and discuss the world disability. Yes, 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 because there's so many of us that are disabled, and there's so many of us that have mental disabilities that is something that I think that we as black people, especially in the gay community, we should discuss. I'll tell you a good person, like whenever we get to that point or you get to that point, Crutches and Spice, this on TikTok. I'm sure you've seen her. And she's a disability advocate. She's not LGBTQ, but she would be a good person to talk to about as far as maybe on how to approach this subject. You know what I'm saying? But
Uh,
not trying to put not trying to put a lot on you.
no, I'm
So
go through our content. It's honestly right now I'm just I've allowed myself to not play the game of catch up.
yeah,
Have my pressure period instead of me trying to catch up. I'm just continuing to go with the flow and get things done as I get them done. Um, and honestly, over the weekend, I made some business deals with some family members that I have who are business minded, and that's exactly what I needed. I was waiting to link with people who are more business minded because I'm very artistic, but I'm not the most efficient person with business. So yeah, so I'm excited. I'm still excited where
yeah.
we're going. Many of us
Well,
have been to be ignored. You're
yeah,
absolutely right, Flex. And even with me, I've been conditioned to ignore my own disabilities and not share them out of fear
yeah.
of appearing weak to other people. Most people who don't know me in real life don't know that I'm epileptic. They they don't
Really?
they don't know that I have seizures. Yeah.
Yeah, my mom has grandma seizures.
Yeah,
And
my everybody in my family found out with me having a grand mal seizure that resulted in me losing the skin on half of my face. And like I said before, I still don't know how I healed so well, but
yeah. Well,
crazy.
but then also, boo, like, don't be afraid to lean on me. I mean, because it's like, I don't be doing anything during the day. Now, I'm not the most efficient when it comes to this social media shit. That's my husband. That's why I let him run all do all the online shit. Now I can decorate on a budget, design on a dime, and I can talk my shit. That's about it. And make people laugh. That's all I can do and dress. That's it. So,
Learning,
but
friend, I'm learning to be more vulnerable with people in general. My cockiness has always been a defense mechanism for me.
yeah,
Putting on a good face has always been a defense mechanism for me. That whole idea of I'll never let you see me sweat. That's kind
right,
of that I've lived by involuntarily. Um,
yeah,
I'm learning. We all constantly growing as people.
yeah, yeah. It's like, I put together like a little which I sent it to you. You don't never respond to any of the my photo videos that I send you. But then I looked down and I seen that you were blocked, that you were on suspension again on TikTok. So
I
I'm just gonna start sending them to on Instagram. But
please,
um but yeah, and one of the pictures that I was working on, and it was talking about confidence, and it was like, because people always ask me, where do I get my confidence from? And I said, my confidence comes from um, pain, love, and being lonely. And it's like the older I get, the more that I am understanding, like what most people look at greatness as like materialistic things and that shit. But once you walk into your confidence also equals you walking into your greatness. It's something that I figured out today. And it's like the more that I continue to be confident with myself, the more that I'm realizing what my greatness is. And to never have been accepted by the LGBTQ community, never being accepted by, like, I was more accepted by straight people than I am my own community, which is really crazy to me. Um, but that's a whole nother subject to talk about. But yeah, it's just like the older you get, the more that you realize, like, you start shedding all of the things. I think you start shedding the things that have actually been holding you back, if that makes sense.
yeah, I feel like that's definitely been the case in my own experience. I'm gonna write that down. We're gonna have to do a live on that. We've always been trying to figure out something we could discuss in a live, and I think you just said it. I'm one who feel like I was accepted by the queer community and not the straights. You're somebody who felt like you were accepted by the straights more than the queer community.
Yeah. I mean, because it's crazy that I can put on like my Afghans, like what I have on now, and I can go to a straight bar or whatever. I can have on all my jewelry and stuff, and I have more straight guys coming up and saying, "Man, I like your outfit, dude." Like, that give give me words of encouragement. But if I walk into a gay bar wearing that, it's like eye rolls. It's like it's a constant competition within the community, and it's like, baby, I haven't competed since I played football, basketball, and ran track. I don't do no competing anymore. I mean, I'll compete for a grand prize, but other than that, it ain't no competition for free.
Yeah,
So,
I agree completely. I'll stand in front of the judges table as a kiki for fun, for a coin, for a trophy, for notoriety. But at the end of the day, I leave it on that. I'm not comparing to my sisters. I feel like we're all great in our own ways, and if anything, I'm going to try to help you figure out in which ways you're great.
yeah. And I think that that's been my problem too, sis, is that I haven't figured out where, which now at my age, I really don't want to figure out where I fit in within this community because I've been without this community for so long that I
Mm.
like,
We, we can't go too far now. Can't go too far into it, love, because I need to give you my full energy. Not after a whole hour of show, full energy, full preparation for this
but it
conversation.
was great. it was great seeing some familiar faces from. I gotta go. I gotta walk in because there's a train coming. It was great to see some familiar faces from TikTok that's coming and participating on the show. So that's really cool.
Yeah,
Um,
that's definitely. And the friends coming through, the friends have been looking out.
yeah. Even though that some of them people ignore me, but it's all good too.
To be fair, to be fair, I think I was just one of the people who was fortunate enough to just put you on the way up because I'm telling you, once you get past a certain point, it'd be hard to keep up with them notifications.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. It is. That's true. And stuff. And I think that's why I have always said that on TikTok, I don't want to have a large amount of followers. I just want to have enough to where I can manage, and I just want to have enough to where if I need to go live, I can go live.
Baby,
Other than that,
when the
all the
fo-
rest is BS.
when the following got past 50K, I was like, I can't manage this, so we're gonna just try and make a career out of it.
Girl, I don't even think I've made it past 40,000 yet, to be honest with you, because I've been keeping up.
That's a lot when you not trying to do nothing with it. I'd actually got to a point where and even now more so behind the scenes than in front of the camera, I'm pursuing that. I'm trying to make a career out of it. You just living your life and you a part of the community that we building.
Yeah, yeah. Going back to what you were saying though, like when we all started, like there's a lot of people that started when I started, and some of those people they have millions of followers and shit. But then every time I jump on TikTok, they're fucking constantly arguing. But then they're about the fight for black women. They're the fight, and it's just like you can't be about the fight when you constantly fucking argue. When I get on here, you're constantly arguing with motherfuckers that don't see the vision.
My grandmother told me when I first started having my issues with TikTok and all the censorship and the fandoms reporting me and all that. She reminded me of something that I do in real life. Pick my battles wisely. Pick and choose your battles wisely. And overall, I took that as a reminder to treat this whole thing in a lot of ways like I treat my real life. Treat people online in the same ways that I would treat people in real life. And I'm the type of person that if I think you ignorant as hell and I'm not going to get through with you and I'm not going to get through to you, then I'm just going to use you as a kiki.
Right.
Yeah,
Hey, Spill It Boy. That's
yeah,
mother right there.
I like it.
Spill It Boy TV, that's mother right there. And you want to talk about a good old fashioned reading, baby. Spill It Boy TV, baby. That's a good old classic Paris is Burning type of reading right there. She
Let,
was reading down, baby.
let me make sure I'm following. Let me make sure I'm
Yes. Spill It Boy TV. She's from Pittsburgh, where my husband is from. So I love me some Spill It Boy TV. Love it, love it, love it, love it.
already
Enter-
following.
entertaining as hell, baby. Drag queen extraordinaire, Miss Pennsylvania. I think, hold on, if I get it wrong, Spiller Boy, 5 times you've won the crown, I think. I might be wrong. But yeah, Spiller Boy TV, crown winning drag queen right there. That's mother right there. Mother.
I'm, I'm proud. But for now, Knox, I'm gonna let you go.
I
I'm
know, baby. I know. We need to schedule. We need to schedule a day where we can just, and you know what? I'll put it together where we just have a day, cocktails and chit chat or something like that, where
oh,
we just talk about just life, just life in general, our
I'm,
experiences
I'm
and
going to
everything.
that specific subject. I know already made.
Okay. Okay, well, I'm gonna sit out here and I'm gonna finish. I got to take this domestic terrorist puppy around the block, and I'm gonna take him around the block, and then I bought my husband a hammock a couple of years ago, so he put it up. So I'm gonna go back here and take this old good pillow I got from the patio. I'm gonna go lay back there and listen to a Renaissance. Hopefully I don't fall out that damn hammock and I'm already crippled and shit, honey. Hopefully I don't break my damn neck trying to get in it.
My mom has never been a big Beyonce fan and stuff.
Really?
For her, yeah, it was. I think it was the activism for her. I think it was dedicating this album to the community for her. And then on top of that, it's her vibes. It's sound like artists that she listens to. The
Yeah.
whole house music.
Now if we could just keep her damn ugly ass husband mouth shut talking about capitalism is like the N word. It's always got to be a man that take and ruins a woman's shining light. Girl. He gonna be the first. We ain't gonna eat Beyonce, but we gonna eat his ass. We gonna fire him up on the Barbie.
It's a possibility that there are celebrities that I know, and that's why I can't talk about them.
Okay, but anyway, you go ahead and have one more cocktail, get into bed. I know that you got to go to work, and I know anybody else that's watching this. Y'all have a fabulous day, and everything. And mother, love you. And we'll get together soon. But check out my story. Check out I did a video and you'll see of the and shit. So love you guys. Y'all always stay positive and confidence. When you build your confidence, you're walking into your greatness.
Your story that I'm checking out, is it on this app or TikTok?
It's on this app.
Okay.
It's on this one. I mean, I think I sent it to you on TikTok too. I did like two versions of it, but yeah, it's on either one. So
I'm blocked on TikTok. Even if you see me live, I'm blocked until the 8th from posting or commenting.
I'm telling you what to do on your main account. Go through your friends list. Because that's what I've been doing. I've been staying on top of my friends list and those videos that people that follow you that have no videos yet, might have just one video, but they got 400 and 500 followers. Delete them shits. Delete them. I'm telling you, ever since I've been doing that, the community guidelines violations have went down a whole lot, except for a couple of people who are the same people who pick and shit with people on TikTok, and then they turn around and, mass report. You got that group of haters, but stay on top of your friends list. Get some free times. Go through there, and you're going to be surprised how many of those accounts you have on your friends list. I'm telling you. So, but anyway, love you. Love all y'all. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
That's the show. Peace, love, and blessings.